Yes, guys, welcome back to your weekly show on DR Sports, the weekend preview, hosted by myself, AGT. Who have we got on the show today? And to my right, the main fella, the big boss, right? Robbie Rose. The big boss.
Robbie Rose.
Big up, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. Good. Been watching some of that Club World Cup and trying to see your Arsenal side at transfers. You know what I mean? So that's what your summer is, isn't it? Summer is now transfers.
It is.
That's the highlight of your summer.
It is.
So, good. I'm still enjoying as well, man, having my weekends back at the moment. So it's been good.
Nice. Going to Queens on the old hospitality and whatnot.
Queens was all right.
We love to see it. Okay. Right, who else have we got? Back from a short break. It's Flex.
Big up.
Another one.
Big up.
Another
one.
How many more? Where did you go this time?
I've been away a lot recently, I can't lie.
Where'd you go?
A couple holidays. Dubai and then...
I went just outside Marbella. Place called Soto Grande.
Soto Grande, nice.
Wicked.
Nice.
Didn't know it existed.
Yeah, very nice.
Wicked.
Oh, in the villa?
Chilled.
With your friends?
It's like a little place. It's calm. Nice, easy. Chilled.
Yeah, you really
take time up.
Be a holidays,
time.
Take time, man. Just relax. Listen, when this flipping season
rather
comes
go
and these
away
criminals,
now,
you have to follow these
yeah.
criminals up and down and you have to miss birthdays and family this and for these idiots. When it gets to the summer, mate.
So when you was you in a villa near Garnacho when you had he had that shirt on?
Do you know what's funny? I may have said this on another thing. I was literally sitting a couple of tables down from Marcus Rashford.
Really?
Yeah, in a little restaurant called Koi.
Have a little word?
Japanese restaurant, having some sushi and that. There's Marcus. Yeah, he was vexed. He's just
Yeah.
his nails, his chin. I didn't really say. I just
Right,
left him
did
to
you have
just.
the snooze in?
I don't know. I don't do that whole. You know what I mean?
That.
So yeah.
Putting up there
No,
in the
it's good.
snooze. No, it's good to have you back.
Nice
man. I
one,
missed you,
nice. But what do you make of that Garnacho thing?
I work for me. There's no steam coming out my ears and.
Because I know I saw United fans losing it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
The thing is, he knows what I know what he's doing. We know what he's doing. You're trying to wind everyone up, and it's just me on a personal. I said this on the channel. I was like, through doing this type of content and like the experiences we have, when you speak to, now I have a better understanding of the other side of the game, right? When players feel disrespected and they start acting up and they do this, that, and the third. I just see the thing as like, I'm not giving my like outrage as it's a job to you and you're clearing off, you're gone. Like I'm not.
It's
so you're taking
though.
100%. So for the people who got Garnacho on the back and that of your shirt, and if he's your guy and all that, get attached like that, it's a kick in the teeth. He knows what he's doing. If you want to back your boy Rashford, put the Man United shirt on. Why are you putting the Villa one on for? You know what it's going to do. You know it's not going to go down good. But he's leaving, and he knows he's leaving, and he's kind of adding a bit of insult to injury. But
Yeah, but I just think sometimes, I just always wonder with players, who advises these players, man? Because it's your legacy as well.
His brother.
he don't
You know
care
what I mean?
about
You may
legacy.
have to come back to United one day. You may have to face United one day. You might say, yeah, I mean, just,
They don't care.
yeah,
It's a job.
you're upset. He's obviously angry. But that thing, you're not peeing off anyone at the club. They don't really care.
They've already told him to leave.
Glazers don't give a toss, mate. They probably see that and say, oh, brilliant, he's definitely
It
leaving.
just shows why he needs to leave. Yeah.
Yeah, you're peeing off the fans. And those fans, you're going to run into them one day. I mean, why upset them?
Why you don't care?
They're not going to understand the reasons. You know?
Well, if you look at the screen right now, Aston Villa fans themselves have replied with "stay away," or Aston Villa themselves, is it?
Yeah, because I think he was
Wow.
loosely linked to them
But
as well.
Aston Villa's own Instagram account has said that. Stay away.
No, that's not the proper. No,
It says it there.
No, that's
Aston Villa have replied,
no,
"Stay
that's-
away."
Oh, is it?
It says
It can't be.
AVFC official with the blue tick.
Is it? I don't know
Wow.
if that's real.
Nah,
But,
that's
But
not.
I don't think that's
I don't
real.
Villa
think
wouldn't
that's
I don't
real.
think that's
But yeah, listen, man. It just shows, a little bit of petulance in there. I'm not always on the side of the fan of like where you don't see if a player's been. So when he was vexed about not starting in the final and said, "I only played 20 minutes. I felt I should."
Yeah,
he pissed. That's fine. Like
Yeah.
I get all that. But the problem is when you have a history or a little bit of a reputation of some mishaps along the way, liking tweets you're not supposed to like, family talking on the thing, couple interviews, you think you're the man. Like when you got that in the background and then you associate yourself with the other person in Marcus Rashford who there's stuff going on there. It's the same with the Jadon Sancho thing when he put the freedom thing. So really what you're showing is that there's a conglomerate within the changing room that actually that's why everyone needs to just split. Everyone, you lot need to come out of the thing, man, and that's what's going to happen.
All right. Well, coming up on today's show, obviously we're talking about transfers. It is that time, isn't it? And as well as that, the Club World Cup, there are some big fixtures, not only tonight, but this weekend as well. But let's start off on this one, which I think broke this morning. Arsenal and now Liverpool, allegedly, according to Correio de Manha in Portugal, are both interested in Victor Gyokeres. This comes after Newcastle shut down any rumours of Isak leaving. Both Arsenal and Liverpool are huge admirers of Isak, as we know. But apparently, allegedly, according to the Portuguese press, Liverpool have joined United and Arsenal in the race to sign Sporting's 27-year-old striker Victor Gyokeres, as we know. I mean, for Liverpool, from our point of view, we've already seen how it ends when you buy a Portuguese league striker who scores 30-odd goals in the league. We're about to sell one, so why would we bring another one in? I can't see that ever happening. But the name is still there. He's still having a bit of back and forth with the sporting director. It's ended quite sourly. It's a bit of a mess, you know. So, because you haven't been on the show for a while, let's go to you. Where does he end up? Because it certainly isn't Liverpool. I'll tell you that for free.
I just think it's a total mess. And actually, because there's so much being said about anything in relation to his priority and his preference, I'm just discarding it. Because I also saw reports that, you know, now Benjamin Sesko follows Arsenal on his Instagram. Yeah. That means that
he also follows Man City, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. And Romano started saying, well, he didn't say that he rejected Man United. He just said that his preference is to go to Arsenal. So you never... Bro, and he said, the one thing he has said, Victor Gyokeres, is there is a lot of lies. I will speak when the time is right or something like that. I just think we're going to see these mental gymnastics, these different rumours of he now wants to go to Chelsea. He now wants to go to Man United. Shesko's off the table. He now wants to go to Arsenal. Oh, now Amarim's been in contact. He wants to go to Man United. Until I see Ornstein Bomba or Romano say Man United, and just talking from my perspective, Man United and Sporting in negotiation for fee. Or, you know, Man United have submitted bid for. Until we start seeing that, no, there's been no bids from anyone because the situation is messy. Nobody even knows at this current stage what his sell price is going to be because of what the sporting director put out there, that it's definitely not going to be more than 100 million, but it definitely ain't going to be 50 plus 10. What is it then? 85 plus 6? 75 plus 15? What is it going to be? So it's a total mess, and I think this Victor Gyokeres saga is just going to go on and on and on, unless we need a domino to fall, i.e. Arsenal go, Benjamin Sesko is our guy. You put the bid in, because there's been no bids at all. You put a bid in for Sesko, and then all of a sudden that's you. Then that limits a big option for Gyokeres, and it opens it up. But I just think it's going to be a complete mess and just rumble on through the summer.
When you talk about domino effects, I agree. And if Arsenal were to put a bid down for Sesko, obviously that impacts Gyokeres. But does it also impact Isak as well? Does that allow someone to, i.e. Liverpool, go in with a mammoth bid, which actually no top Liverpool journalists have actually shut this down yet. It's still...
I don't think Isak's
I think Lewis Steele said there's a 30% chance. I'd say about 10%.
Isak's not going nowhere, man. You won't get Isak.
I agree.
They're in the Champions League. They don't need to sell Isak. He's on a long contract unless he went on strike, which he doesn't look like the type of...
Unless he says, I want to leave.
Yeah. And he don't look like the type of guy that will do that. I mean, I think if they hadn't made the Champions League, he would have been vulnerable. Right?
But he might not sign a new deal, though. What I think is interesting is there's reports that Newcastle are trying to make him their highest paid player in history for 150 grand a week, which...
But is that
for
off
you?
the back
Yes,
of
you
these
gave
rumours?
Chiesa last year.
Yeah.
It's pittance to you.
Konate's on 70.
You know what I'm saying? So that's pittance to you. I'm saying, if you're Liverpool, mate, PSR's PSR, I don't care.
Spend it.
If you got it, put 130 down, tell Isak we'll give you 200 grand a week.
Yeah.
Try.
I think that could come.
Why not?
And then it obviously makes Newcastle have to react to go, right, we're a bit scared here. Do you want to sign a new deal?
That's what I'm saying. And he might not, because he's got 3 years left. He might say, I don't need
the thing is,
120 grand a week now. 30 grand a week pay rise.
The thing is, he's got what, 3 years left. So there's no rush for Liverpool. Even if that was the case, Liverpool, Newcastle can still say, we're just keeping you.
Yeah.
We've got Champions League coming up, this, that. We'll give you that higher wage, but
he ain't going to agitate as well. He's a good
he's not going to be that type of player. I think with the Gyokeres Sesko one, I get the feeling that over the next couple of weeks we'll find out where it's going to go. Because I think Arsenal are going to try and bring in a striker before they go on that pre-season, right? They're going to want to get that striker in, right? So I still feel it probably will be Sesko.
Have you always felt that? Have you felt?
I've always sort of felt that since the start of this
That's who they
window,
really
that
want, innit?
Sesko's who they really want, right? I kind of wouldn't mind Gyokeres because I just feel like everyone keeps saying, "Oh, Sesko's a perfect fit," and I just keep thinking, well, maybe that's what we don't need. Maybe we want someone who's not the fit. There could be a bit of a disruptor and come in and just, I don't know, maybe switch us up a bit. But I think we're going to find out over the next couple of weeks where they're going to end up. I don't think you can, if Gyokeres doesn't go to Arsenal, I think he could go United. I really do.
I think
you can't close that off. No. Yeah, we're still early in the window. That's what a lot of people keep forgetting. It's still very early in the window. But in the case of Arsenal, I think that signing will be made, that striker, before
your pre-season stuff.
And
do you think things will start heating up once the 1st of July comes round? Because we're currently on the 26th. The new PSR, financial year is July the 1st. So
yeah, that's when Cunha's his contract don't even start till 1st of July. Everyone 1st of July.
Do you think everything starts heating up in the striker race at least?
I think
in
so.
July?
I think so. I'd say you say heating up. I don't know. I just think this striker thing's so maybe volatile is the wrong word. Unpredictable. I just see it rambling on, man. I know what you're saying. You want your striker in early, and you got the power to do that. Maybe if it's Sesko, that would be a quick thing. I just think the Gyokeres one, I just think it's really messy, and I think it's going to take a lot of negotiating. And that's that pushback where people were like, if Gyokeres is really this good, why ain't everyone in? Where's all the bids? And there started to be a sort of pushback against his ability. Is he even that good? Because someone with these numbers should be so sought after. But as soon as that president put that statement out, it became clear why clubs haven't put bids in. Because you don't know what you're working with. You don't know what you're working with. It's a volatile situation.
And I think they're going to have to sort it out because in the case of Gyokeres, right, he's made it clear. He goes, he's not playing for them again. He ain't going back to training.
No.
So basically, you've got players going on strike.
Yeah, exactly.
So if Sporting don't sort this out soon, they could be the big losers in this. Yeah. Right? Because, you let him run and run and run to in the end, you have to let him go anyway for peanuts.
It's a poker,
not peanuts, but a lot less than. So, yeah, it's a messy.
He'll get sold, but it's just gonna. Nobody wants to blink first, isn't it? The Sporting president wants to show the Sporting fans that, listen, I'm gonna get every penny we can for this player. That's his job. Gyokeres is like, gentleman's agreement. You said I could leave for this price. You're mugging me off. I stayed an extra year. It's and also his agent. I mean, you're looking at. You talk about a Man United, like, do you want to sign a player like this? They tried to do that with Cunha a bit, this, that, and the other. Also, what's happened here is that his agent's a bad egg. Like, it's not great how this has been handled. You have to think about that if you're going to buy him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got Rasmus Holding up front, so it don't matter.
Literally.
But it is something you do have to contemplate. Like, if it goes a bit wrong, this is kind of what could happen. Gentleman's agreement. You said this. Do you want that baggage?
Whose side on this do you think the fans are on? Because Gyokeres is saying, you shook my hand, man. You said you could let me go for 68 mil. But obviously, I think the release clause is like 85, 86. But the sporting director is saying, yeah, we shook hands. I've had a few Sagres, a couple of super box at the time, right? And it wasn't on paper. And all of these clubs are in for you. And as a sporting director, my job is to maximise the fee that we get for you. So I'm sorry, if someone can't reach it, we're not in a position to sell you. We don't have to sell you. But whose side are the fans on with this? The Sporting Lisbon fans. Who are they siding with?
I think they'll be on a case by case, really. Because some Sporting fans will be like, absolutely, no player's bigger than the club. It wasn't a contractual thing. Our sporting director's got to fight for every penny. This is, we are Sporting sort of thing. But a lot of them will see the service and see what Victor Gyokeres has actually done for them, and will know the semantics about.
He's given them everything, hasn't he?
Like, he didn't leave last year. Like, Amorim begged him to stay. Amorim kind of done him there. He begged him to stay, and then went halfway through the season himself to United. But he could have left last year. He said, no, cool. They gave him a bonus for reaching certain performances and money, goals, and he got that. And he's not getting the other bit of his bargain. So I think they'll be quite split. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and with the Liverpool link, I mean, I'm reading the article now from the Correo, and it was Felipe Antonio Ferreira saying the English champions are set to sell Darwin and want to strengthen their attack. Arsenal and United and the other players are, obviously the translation isn't 100%, but it says they're interested in the Swede. I can't see that. And I think Liverpool will rule themselves out of that as soon as possible. Is it even
Or
a real
Gyokeres.
link? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it even a real
Yeah, I
link?
can't
We
see
don't know. But let us know in the chat, where does Victor Gyokeres actually end up? Because at the minute, it could be Arsenal, it could be
Probably
Manchester United.
Galatasaray after all of this.
Yeah, could be the
Random,
the next
you know what I mean, like the Ottoman
Ottoman
thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. So let us know in the chat, Victor Gyokeres, where does he end up? Just staying on Liverpool. Liverpool finally confirmed the signing this morning of Hungarian left back Milos Kerkez, who, if you look at the stats, I mean, there's an article here by BBC Sport, how will Kerkez fit in at Liverpool? And if you compare him to what Liverpool currently have, Andy Robertson, he played 37 games. That's the most of any left back. Minutes played first. Again, Andy Robertson 22nd in the list when it comes to that. Goals and assists, he's tied 6th. Assist tied 6th again. Distance covered, this is an interesting one. He's 2nd in the list, whereas Andy Robertson slides down to 24th in the list. Sprints 3rd in the league. Andy Robbo 10th. Chances created 10th. Andy Robbo actually 7th in that one. But this is an interesting one. Open play crosses, he's 3rd. Andy Robertson tied 80th.
Yeah.
On
Well,
that one.
He didn't play well, but this is a bit skewed though, isn't it? Because Robertson didn't have a great. He was injured a lot, innit? Didn't play.
Well, he still played 32 games.
Oh, did he?
And obviously
At the
Simicast
starts,
dropped
how long,
in.
How much?
Yeah, he
He
played
played
a
so-
lot of
oh,
games.
so he did, so
Still, interceptions per 90 as well. Obviously, Kerkez coming in at 12th, Andy Robertson 39th, and possession won. That's interesting, 17th against 32nd. So,
He's better than him in every
if you
metric.
play, and I think what Doyle touched on this in the COP TV the other day. What Slot's doing is having 2 options in each position, but 2 styles for each position as well. Because you can, and if Andy Robertson plays a lot of games at left back next season, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And it reminds me.
Stay?
I think he stays in the end, yeah. I think he stays. When you look back to Klopp bringing in Andy Robertson, a lot of people at the time were saying, well, we've bought Alberto Moreno, right? And Andy Robertson replaced him. Klopp actually still started with Moreno and only really bled in Robertson maybe halfway through the campaign. But what I think Slot's doing is going, right, we've got, if we want, we can have Robbo and Conor Bradley. If we're maybe winning the game. And if we're losing the game, Kerkez, Frimpong. Like wing backs almost. So yeah,
But if you're
interesting.
winning or you want to be on the front foot, I'm looking at Kerkez and Frimpong and
Yeah.
I'm going, wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like what Liverpool are doing, mate.
Yeah, but that
He's-
£40 million
he's,
signing
he's
of
a
Milos
proper player.
Kerkez takes Liverpool spending up to 171.5 million this window, not including add-ons. And it was obviously a quiet summer last year, but Milos Kerkez finally checks in wearing that Liverpool shirt. The announcement was made literally half an hour ago. So
Wicked player, man.
Another
that's
left back
confirmed.
signed today as well. You know what I mean? Miles Lewis
Yeah.
Skelly.
Finally signs
Extended.
a new deal.
New long-term contract, right? Real Madrid were trying to do a little Trent move on him. You know what I mean? They were eyeing that little move that they do where
You lot locked it down, mate. You said
contract's
no.
running down. But we've locked him down, and that's a great bit of business for Arsenal. And he's really emerged as an
He's top,
unbelievable player, and that's good for Arsenal to tie him down.
5-year
even though-
deal.
Yeah, good. You know, it's going to save Arsenal a lot of money as well. You know?
Yeah.
Although they are still also looking at that Joro Hato as a player who could play in that left back position as well. So, but yeah, I think that's a really good signing. There's a lot of talk that eventually he might move into midfield because he actually was a midfield player that was sort of literally put in as a left back just out of an emergency.
What,
And
in the
now-
under 21s or in the first team?
in the first team? Like he plays.
So he didn't do left back all the way through
So
the
I
youth
think
thing.
he
That's
has
not-
played before, but his main position in the youth team has been in the midfield.
can see why when
Right?
he goes in
You
there.
can see with his
Joke.
strength and everything.
Yeah.
And that's why he does so well, because he plays that left back position, can defend really well. But then when he inverts into midfield, he's like very, very comfortable, isn't he? So, but could he eventually move completely into midfield? You know what I mean? That's you know. But really good news for Arsenal that he signed, and apparently his mum negotiated the contract
Of
as
course
well.
she did. She's
Big up to his mum, man.
She's
You know what I mean?
serious,
But
man.
she apparently
Yeah.
negotiated no agent.
Wicked,
She
man.
did it.
Love that.
Which
It's
is
quite old school, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like
that's
that.
brilliant. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miles Lewis Skelly checks in long term at Arsenal. Arsenal fans, how excited are you with this one? And this comes obviously after the news of Christian Norgaard coming in. And I haven't
Norgaard.
spoke to you about this
Yeah.
yet. I mean, listen, I saw Lee Judge's his rant yesterday.
We did a show earlier.
And
Which is
I've
coming out
seen
later,
you
right? And
do
he's
a
still
show
not happy.
downstairs as well. But when I think I'm gonna I'm going to defend Arsenal's strategy on this.
No, so I defended it. Like me and him was going back and forth on it because to me it's a very good signing.
But the way Lee reacted was like, "That's the last signing you're going to make all summer,"
which is obviously not. And that's typical Lee, how he reacts.
Reactionary.
Right? But I'm saying to you that signing makes perfect sense. Listen, they wanted to keep Thomas Partey, right? But the sticking point on that has always been he wants a long-term deal. He's 32 now. We know he's been injury-prone throughout his career at Arsenal. He had a great season last year. Don't get me wrong. He was excellent last season. But Arsenal wanted to give him like a year. He's on very high wages, over £200,000
If I was him,
a
I'd
week.
still accept a year, you know.
Right?
I don't know why he's
but
turning
you
his
say
nose
that, but
up
when
at
you
it.
get that age,
Yeah.
you need security. You want a
I know,
2+1.
but you can
Speaking-
easily go Saudi after that and get the bag. Take the year.
Go Saudi
No.
now.
The thing is, the Saudi guys now, right? I was over there the other day, and they were saying that listen, they're moving away from that.
The older guys.
Just bringing the older guys. They're now looking at younger players. You can see that with some of the signs they're looking to make at the moment, like Theo Hernandez from AC Milan and that.
Duran
They're going a
as
bit
well.
younger now, right? Duran, right? So it's his last big contract. I know from people that are close to his thing that he wanted 2 years. Arsenal wanted to give him 1 year. They probably wanted those wages to come down a bit as well. It's his last big deal. He's probably going to get an offer to get that amount of time and the same money elsewhere.
Where?
Well, there's even talk of Barcelona interested in him, right? So he's going to go, right? So then Arsenal have had to move really quickly now for a replacement because I think they were looking at his player, Lucian Agomi, who plays for Sevilla. I think United are also interested in him as well, right? But he's young and he's green. Remember, they're bringing in Zubamendi. Zubamendi's going to be the main guy, right? So they need a backup. Christian Norgaard fits it perfectly. He's been excellent over the years at Brentford. He's one of them sort of unsung players. Brentford's captain. If you look at all his stats, they're very, very good. Like, he scores a lot of goals, right? I think he scored about 6 last season. I think he's second in interceptions, third in tackles won. He's a bit different to Partey in that he's more of a sort of classic number 6. But what Lee's forgetting, he's not really coming in to replace Partey. He's coming in to replace Jorginho.
Exactly. And that's why I think it's a shrewd
And
signing.
that's why it's a very shrewd bit. But he's a captain. He's another leader in the dressing room. He's a very, very experienced player in the Premier League. And they had to move quickly because Spurs were looking to sign him. Obviously, Thomas Frank's gone there now, who's his manager. That's why they've moved really quickly on this one.
I think I understand where both sides of Arsenal fans are coming from on this, yeah? Because I agree, right? When you take a step back and you look at it like just player for player, pound for pound, like you've lost Jorginho and you've lost Partey. You've replaced them with Zubamendi and Norgaard. Arsenal are going to go deep into competitions next year. You need to get better cup runs. You went from quarterfinals to semi-finals, Champions League. Make Arsenal not replace those bodies like Jorginho and Partey, and all of a sudden you ain't got no midfielders properly or this, that, and everyone goes, so you didn't sign a thing, you didn't. So Arsenal have done right, and getting Kepa for £5 million and that other Neto guy, get rid of him, and that's good business. But the problem is, it's because it's just not what Arsenal fans want to hear right now. The problem is
that's all it is.
So
that's all it is.
That business needs to be done. You're right. That's good business.
And the reason why they've had to do that now, as I said, is because Tottenham were going to move.
They're going to move in.
Right,
so you got to swoop, yeah?
So you got to swoop and do that.
So
but
I get
you
that.
are right 100%
You just don't want to hear it now. Where's
The pro-
Sesko? Where's Gyokeres?
Yes,
And like
yes.
what Lee
But then
Judges
the
was
problem-
saying, he was saying, we need to get over the line. Like, get the man who we're going to get. Where's the bit? And because Arsenal didn't spend properly in summer, they didn't spend properly in January.
January is the one.
It feels a bit like, I could sympathise with some Arsenal fans where they're like, you're doing it again.
Yeah.
Are you really doing this to us again? Like, great. We don't want to hear about no Norgaard. 11 million. We don't want to hear about Zubamendi was here we go from 6 months. Don't hoodwink us. Where is the strike? Where's the thing? I'm seeing, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm going, look at City. Look, they're going to, listen, if we're not careful, we're going to be third. Look at Liverpool. The gap's going to get bigger. But in reality, if you be a bit calmer about it, like AGT said, it's still early in the window. If you add your Sesko into this and you've sorted out your midfield.
And the winger, though.
You have to be.
They still need more stuff, but because they haven't got it yet.
Why we need to be calm about this, right? Is that, and I know. Listen, I'm an Arsenal fan, and I
the clock's
fully I fully understand
TikTok.
it because I was so frustrated in January. It was ridiculous what we did, right? But why we got to be calm, man, is that what were we just talking about before we even started talking about this? We were talking about all the problems in trying to sign a Gyokeres and people like that at this stage. So I do still believe that one of those signings will happen. What they should have done, I still think they should have, like, it's a very typical Arsenal. You see what you guys done with Cunha, right? You signed him and you put it out there that you signed him and announced it and think. But obviously the reality of it is he's not signing until the 1st of July, is he? You can't be officially, even though you've done the announcement that
You can't be registered. You can't. You can't, his contract.
But Arsenal, they know they've got Zubimendi.
Yeah.
They could have done the same thing and just announced it.
But that's your Partey replacement.
Yeah, but they ain't done nothing. They still just like, he's still just there. We know he's coming in, but they should have just put it out there right at the start of the window and said, right, we've made this, because they should know that the fans are going to be frustrated from January. And it's the Arsenal way. Everything's always under wraps.
Yeah, and that's where I can sympathise with the fans.
That is why that
it looks like you ain't got
frustration
no
comes
ambition.
in. Yeah.
But actually, when you look at those two signings, them two players need replacing. Jorginho's the guy who comes in and out. That's Norgaard. Norgaard ain't going to start.
Yeah,
all the
Norgaard's
games.
not starting. Norgaard's Jorginho.
Yeah, he's the Endo. He's the El
and
Neni.
He's actually very good, right? Because he's a guy that started every game for Brentford last season. He's their captain.
Yeah.
It's a very Jorginho-like signing. Jorginho is a real leader, so it makes perfect sense. Just like the Kepa one, when people were saying, "Oh, Kepa,
Perfect signing.
5 million release clause for a guy that started every game for Bournemouth last season, was one of their best players, had an excellent season. You're getting a keeper like that who knows the Premier League inside out as your backup. It makes perfect sense.
If you'd done these deals the other way round,
exactly.
Like say it was Gyokeres through the door straight away, Arsenal fans would go,
there you go.
Damn right, you bet right.
Great
Now
business.
you go and get thing. But what I will say is though, the pressure that is building.
Nah, they're on a huge pressure.
You know,
huge.
like everyone knows the money's there to be spent. It's Gyokeres or it's Sesko. You need to get your skates on and the winger.
And the winger.
I said it on Invincible podcast, which could be coming out. Right,
there could be riots in the stadium.
Striker, right? Even when that's done, to me, I'm still looking at a left wing position.
Yeah.
And personally, I want to see a Rodrygo or a Rafael. I want to see someone.
Garnacho's up for grabs.
I don't want no Garnacho.
What do you mean?
I don't want no.
Why? What do you mean?
You're wearing a Spurs shirt by the end of the season.
Mate, higher GA than Rodrygo, mate.
Listen, to me, Garnacho's like, that's like I'm just bringing in another Martinelli. Right? We got that already. I want a dial mover. I want someone going to be really. Arsenal need options. Like what Liverpool had last season, we didn't have that, right? And also, I want the same threat that we got on that right-hand side, on the left, because everything's always going our right. Everything's a Saka. I want it so that when Odegaard looks up, he's like, well, actually, no, I'm playing it to Rodrygo right now. Or someone else.
So what do you need? 2 signings. The striker and another forward.
Listen, we need more than 2 signs, but the 2 big men.
What do you need? What do you need?
Right,
so you got Zubimendi and you got Kepa and Norgaard.
Zubimendi, we needed that.
What do you need? Striker, we know.
Striker.
Yeah.
And a left winger.
And they need to be big boy players. Like
got to be big names.
And those players
household names.
Like saying Liao and that.
Money. Put on our spend.
Each.
Those have got to be the 2 big.
And Arsenal got that
dial
money.
Movers.
They got that money.
They got the money.
To get 2 big men.
Yeah, well, they've spent what so far? Zubimendi's 50 odd. Norgaard's 15. Kepa's 5.
Yeah.
Right? They're gonna go and get one of these strikers, right? That's probably gonna be 60, 70 tops.
Yeah.
It's said that they've got over 200 million to spend. A Rodrygo would be about 77 million. A Rafael will be about 60 to 70 million. So they're gettable.
He's hot and cold, Rafael. He's got great ability.
Physical.
Sometimes, he's wicked when he's wicked.
I like him, man.
And other times he's cold. But he's got a lot of ability.
If he's cold, you take him off and bring on a Martinelli.
Yeah, there's options.
Bro, go and get them options, man. That's what... Study
Options,
Liverpool
man.
last season. Right?
Everyone wants
if it ain't working,
so sickening.
they bring a Gakpo on, or they're bringing on Diaz, or that's why they won the league.
You lot need to enter back the chat, man, because the way these lot are going on, I don't care how much I hate Liverpool and the thing, it's scary, man. Kerkez, vroom. Frimpong, vroom. Verts, just doing Vert stuff. And they're looking for more. If you shot Darwin Núñez for 70 as well, 60 big P's back in.
60 for Darwin Núñez?
They're looking for big P's, isn't it?
You're not going to get
at least 50.
Even if you shot him for 50.
50 maybe.
You know what I mean? Even get rid of Jota maybe.
You know, Darwin Núñez is a player that I feel...
Liverpool are still hunting more.
You know, Darwin Núñez is going to go somewhere and cook, I think.
Yeah, Napoli.
Yeah.
I think he'd do all right there.
Kevin
He'd do all right
De
there,
Bruyne.
you know?
He'll do fine. He'll do fine there.
With De Bruyne,
he'd do all right there, you know.
Him and Lukaku up
He's
front.
got more time to think. Actually, that's why we're selling him, because he's had too much time to think. He doesn't know what to do. He's the kind of guy that you just one chance, one goal.
Yeah,
But
look
we
how
haven't
well
seen that
Lukaku
now.
done there.
Lukaku does well everywhere.
Yeah.
It's only because he
United.
imploded at Chelsea. He scored bare goals at United. He still scored loads of goals.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
still scored.
20s.
Yeah,
What,
like
last
18,
season?
17.
I like Lukaku anyway.
He just
But you got I think that's you know when we talk about Sesko and Gyokeres I keep thinking I haven't seen enough of Gyokeres, just seen bits of him, saw when he played against us and that. But I just keep wondering, is he like that kind of Lukaku? You know, with Lukaku, you have to play to suit him. Otherwise, it's a waste of time.
Which is why some people say about Sesko, he's got a higher technical
14
ceiling
goals
with
in the league last season for
who?
Lukaku at Napoli as they won the Scudetto.
Yeah, and they won the league.
Won
And
it at
he
Inter as well.
He won the
Hey,
league
man's
at
a
Inter.
winner.
The guy, and he
Scored
scores.
14 there as well.
If you put the balls into the areas for him,
He scores.
he scores. If you're looking for him to do Tekka's beat
Nah,
four man,
exactly.
forget that. He ain't doing that.
Nunes ain't
If
that
you-
guy either.
Yeah. So that's what you got. That's the thing about when you buy players. You know, do they suit? That's why I understand where Arsenal are kind of coming from with
And
the
you've
Gyokeres
waited
thing.
for Sesko. You've waited.
They
Like
have.
he signed a new deal last year, didn't you? When you was interested.
Yeah.
So Mikel Arteta saying, "I want to wait for the one." Well, he better be the one.
He better be.
He
the
better be the
And
one.
this
mate.
signing, when we talk about the one, what does the one mean? The one means he's going to win you the Premier League. Well, what else? What else?
Well, you know what? But you know what? Though,
That's what
It
they
is-
want. 3 years
Yeah,
second.
but the hardest thing about that is for Arsenal, which I'll give him a bit of slack. The other stuff needs to marry up as well. Because if Sesko or Gyokeres comes there and he's got 28 Premier League goals, or 20, and he's done his job, and they haven't won the league, you have to look to somewhere or another. There will be another reason as to why they haven't won the league.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
So
Super chat time. Clara Bitsy in the house. Robbie, after Kepa and Norgaard signings, is it already an 8 out of 10 window for Arsenal as per your standards?
Well, let's wait and see. What was Chelsea's window so
8
far?
out of 10.
Huh?
What? He says 8 out of 10.
I think it's.
I
'cause
never
you
said it was an 8 out of 10. And I
for
didn't
last
say 8
year
out of 10
with
last year. I
Sterling.
said 7 out of 10.
7 out of
It was
10,
a
right.
7
Last
out of
year?
10. Yeah.
And it wasn't.
After
And
Was it?
it
Sterling.
didn't.
Minus
Although, as I said,
7 window, that
as I said, right, when a lot of people in January jumped on it and said, "Yeah, Robbie, see, right," and I keep questioning. I was with Turkish. I was questioning it. So I go, "What?" He said it was a 2 out of 10 window. I said, "Well, how can it be a 2 out of 10 window? Because Miko Marino was a good signing. It was a good. If it weren't for Marino from January when he came in
You might not
to
be
the end
even
with the
got
goals he
top 5.
scored, bro. Listen, right, the guy was excellent.
Yeah, but the
So-
other two, but
And
it
the-
is probably still
Calafiori was injured.
and Miles Lewis Skelly emerged. So if there was
Yeah.
better planning and understanding of what you had, you could have saved that Calafiori money. And Sterling was a complete disaster.
No,
don't
I think
Turkey's far off.
I still think Calafiori is going to be a good signing. He's a good player, man.
He's all right, but
just
he's
injured.
a squad-
Miles
he's
Lewis
gonna be a
Skelly
squad
now.
man.
It's
He's
all
a
about
squad man.
Miles
A very
now,
good
though,
squad
isn't it?
man, but in the minute when
Well,
you
it's
needed
his
them forward,
It's depth.
you went and spent 40
No, we
million
should have bought a striker. That's
on the
why.
Calafiori aura with the Alice band. But
right.
really, you should have
We
went.
should have. We should have
you know
bought. No, we should have bought a striker.
Yeah.
That's what ruined that window.
So,
And
that's
seven
probably
was
right.
7 was too high, right? But Calafiori, I still think is going to be a good player for Arsenal. You know what I mean? He just had an injury hit. See, when he was fit, he looked very good.
When he's fully fit, does he start?
When he
Miles
was
Lewis Skelly
when he
starts.
was fully fit
And
before
the centre-back
before
again.
Lewis Skelly
Yeah,
came
but
in,
now
yeah, he
we're
was
talking-
starting.
Yeah, but now.
Now it's Lewis Skelly.
Yeah.
Lewis Skelly.
Yeah.
So he's back up left back.
But
60 million.
no,
left back, was
but
it?
then
How
remember
much is it?
when he was brought in though, I remember Arteta said at the time I was at the press conference when he signed him. He said, "Listen," he goes,
40
"The
million.
reason we're bringing him in is that he can play left back or centre back."
Yeah, but
And
you're
he
looking
goes,
at
he-
Jarrell
and he ain't
gonna
Hato
get
as
many
well.
games at
Right?
centre
And
back
he
either.
was saying that last season he goes, the previous season he goes, we got away with it at the back because Gabriel and Saliba were fit the whole season. So remember, for Italy, he plays as a centre back. So
Yeah.
he is squad
He's
depth.
a good and he's a good. Listen,
But
if he has
you
to
gotta-
come in and play, it's fine.
I
In that
just.
window where you needed
Yeah.
priorities more than that.
But we should have bought a striker last season.
100%.
And again, that was the big kick in the teeth.
Just a tweet here from Fabrizio, and it says negotiations continue between Napoli and Liverpool for Darwin Núñez. The initial request is in excess of 65 million euros, but Napoli are trying to work on a deal structure and feasibility of the whole package. But Núñez wants to move, as reported last week, and now the personal terms are being discussed. Just staying on Liverpool, I mean, we all saw Harvey Elliott last night. Scored 2 great goals for the England under 20s.
Great in this tournament.
He's better than that level. Right,
He shouldn't be in that.
He shouldn't be in the under 21s.
But he's
he
just
should be
below.
near.
He's kind of, how does he get into the seniors when there's so much going on?
Yeah.
He's in that awkward position.
By the way,
But again,
right,
that could be 50 mil that we bring in for Harvey Elliott if we sell him.
I think Harvey Elliott will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going.
We're not going to get no game. We spoke about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
How old is Harvey Elliott?
22, man. He's
What
been
is
he's been
it?
around.
He used to play.
Can I
It
just
feels
ask
like
a
he's been around
question?
for ages.
Bro, he's been around. Been with us 6 years.
Why is
6
it?
years
He's won
now.
2 Premier Leagues.
That's mad. Harvey Elliott's been around that long.
And his record was only
only
broken
22.
this season by Ethan. Or when Ethan came on a couple of years
Can I ask a
ago.
question, right? What is under 21s? I was watching it last night. I watched the Germany-France game. Good game. That Voltemate guy looks Voltemade looks decent, by the way, right? But he's 23. And there's other players in it, like you said, Harvey Elliott.
You're allowed
22,
one 23-year-old.
To me, he's under 21s. Let it be under 21s. Why am I seeing 23-year-old players?
You're allowed
it's
one
the
player.
same in youth football when in the under 21s you're allowed a player.
Mate, Jay Spearing's 40 playing
Tom
for
Huddleston
the
was
under 21s.
playing for the Rezzies, mate.
Yeah.
Tom Huddleston was playing.
Why does it make sense? Why?
Paul McShane and that were playing.
Yeah.
Why?
You get one player
To help them
in the
out, they
under
need a bit of
21s.
experience, man.
At Premier League. It's
Under 21s,
under
it's under
23s,
21s.
isn't it? The
Yeah.
reserves now is
Yeah.
under 23s.
England in the final, by the way, again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Lee Carsley,
Yeah,
man.
they got a chance to win that
Surely
again.
that's the next England manager.
Well, he got the job and he
Wow.
messed up, didn't he?
Yeah, but in terms
He
of
was interim. He was interim, though, innit? But
being St George's Park,
and then
knowing
probably
everyone
with
around the place.
yeah. Do you know? I wouldn't, if he wins that
Levels
Euros as
like-
well, and it goes wrong with it's not going great at the minute, is it? With old Tommy Tooks.
Tommy
Yeah,
Tucks,
yeah,
you know.
We have to wait to
Tuck shot.
the World Cup to really judge it. But
Just breaking news coming in as well. Alvaro Morata has agreed personal terms with Como. The contract is ready and he's accepted the move. Talks are now ongoing between Milan and Galatasaray as the agreement is needed to terminate the loan. I mean, the fees that I know this will be for free, but the fees that he has accrued over his career.
I was doing this the other day. Yeah,
It's
on one
it's
of the shows.
unbelievable.
I was like, I think we worked out it was Lukaku's actually top,
Yeah,
and then like Neymar,
yeah.
Ronaldo's up there, and he's in there as well.
Yeah.
Enough
around.
moves, man.
Yeah.
Before it would have been a Nelka as well. He's got a lot of moves.
Anelka's up there as well.
But yeah, man, he's got a lot of moves. Morata, and he's
Come
like,
on,
he's just
I've
that
got-
guy. He finds a way to just
Yeah.
do stuff when he goes places, don't it?
I got invited to go watch Como, so maybe I'll
Yeah, man.
see him next
Yeah.
season.
Is
wicked.
Fabregas
Yeah,
still,
when I was
still
over
the
in-
manager?
Yeah, he
and
stayed.
owner?
Fabregas
Yeah, yeah.
didn't go, did he?
So
Yeah.
he was linked with Inter Milan, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And if he did accept that, he would have had to make a deal with himself because he owns Como.
Oh yeah. Part
So
of
he
it.
would have had
He's
to
got
sit in a
shares
room
in
with
Como,
himself and talk
how
and
the
agree a deal with
rich man
himself.
problems.
Yeah, literally. I wish.
Rich man problem,
Going back to Arsenal, Prince Brandon in the chat here says, I want Fofana from Lyon at Arsenal, Malik Fofana.
yeah, he's good.
So, you know what? He's a very good player, and obviously Leon now been relegated, or looks like
Get
they're
him on the sheet,
relegated. So
maybe.
yeah, he's it's be a real fire
Also,
sale there.
Can you explain to me how Lyon have been relegated because of debt, but you've got like £1 billion debt?
Yeah,
So-
it must be. You know, there must. I don't know the ins and outs, but clearly they must have not been compliant enough. You can. You're not. It's not illegal to have debt. It's how much you
Yeah.
have. It's
So
like
if you
it's
broke
like
the
life,
rules,
isn't it? You can get a mortgage, you're in debt.
Yeah.
You can get
Every-
a car out, you're in
every-
debt. But if you can't make the payments or you can't be in a certain
Every you
threshold,
remember as
maybe
well.
or
Every
something
league's different in that aspect. Like you're allowed to lose a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
So in this country, PSR rules, you're allowed to lose a certain amount of money. It might be different in France where you can lose less. They're the second big club to be relegated. Like Bordeaux got relegated right now.
Andy
They haven't
Carroll's
come
still
back
playing
either.
for Bordeaux.
Right, and so
Mad.
there is going to be a fire sale there, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Cherky went. You know what I mean,
They could have got him for free.
That
Maybe.
Mikatadzi's all right as well. He played well against us in the
Yeah.
first leg in the Europa
Where
League.
does Fofana end up then? Because there was links to Liverpool. There was
I
obviously
think
links to other
definitely
Prem
be in the
teams.
Premier League. Where I don't know, but
If you got him though, instead of that household name left winger,
man, I
would you
still
accept
want
that?
household,
He's like,
Bridges,
nah,
no.
he doesn't want
big
that.
man.
household.
Sometimes the household names.
Yeah,
are
you're
everything,
right,
You
though,
are
man.
right. You
just,
are
you
right.
just want a man who's been
know?
well scouted and you bring him in good fee. You don't
That's-
need to just splash
yeah,
and
that's the
all of a
sensible
sudden
thing.
you've got another Pepe.
As you said, we've done a few sensible ones already, right?
There you go.
I want a mad one now. You know what I mean? I'm allowed a mad one.
Do you know what's funny,
You
right?
remember he's saying this, you know?
when that news on Norgaard broke yesterday, someone tweeted, "I can already see James B from AFTV calling this a sensible signing." And then I did the transfer show yesterday with James B, and he goes, "Yeah, it's a pretty sensible signing." I was like,
he's measured though, isn't it?
he's
a
my
sensible
favourite Arsenal fan, you know.
He would just call it as it is to say, well, that bit makes sense in isolation. It doesn't mean that you don't need a striker. Both things can be true.
And he's actually back on DR Sports today at 5 with myself for another
Big up,
transfer news show. So
Malik
pick him up.
Fofana is a hot prospect.
So not to Arsenal then. You don't want him.
I didn't.
You wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't say no,
But if that was your only option, you've not bought a left winger or a winger in the last 2 weeks. He becomes available.
Sancho?
stop. I saw today where Arsenal made an inquiry about Sancho.
You want to inquire some more?
way.
Come. What do you want to know? Well, tell me. Come. What do you want to inquire
He's
about?
seen everything, man. He doesn't
No, he
need to
don't
know
need to
anything,
know
man.
anymore.
I went
Forget
through
that.
this with my team.
We won't
I
get
can
Sancho.
guide you through
Yeah,
this.
but you're a salesman now.
Proper. Garnacho.
Are you on commission?
What do you want to know? I can let you know.
He's on commission.
You know what I mean?
That's why. isn't it?
We've seen it already.
2%.
There's nothing we need to
You
know.
know what I mean?
you're
What do you want, man? You know what I mean?
Oh,
You keep them
jeez.
money, boy. Especially Sancho. That guy hot and cold, man.
Sully says, I noticed from Liverpool that later on in the season they weren't very physical. If they had a Gyokeres or a Ekitike, could that address the problem? If you're ever in Boston, I'll buy you a round of drinks. Nice one, Sully. There is that Liverpool supporters club, the Phoenix Landing in Boston. I've got to go there one day, but big up to you as a member. I don't think Ekitike is the physical kind of dominance that people, well, maybe that Sully's referring to here. I think Gyokeres definitely is that flat track bully kind of striker, but Ekitike, I think he's been slept on because he's the next Isaac. If you've seen his numbers, he is the next Isaac coming through.
Expensive.
Also, the way he moves
Similar
as well,
profile
quite,
as well.
like,
Wiry,
it's
quite strong,
long
like,
limbs.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
very.
They want so much money for him.
They would want too much, man. That's gonna have to come down.
And at Frankfurt again.
They're just cashing in, man.
I think
all
he
of
ends
these
up
clubs
at
are doing it
Liverpool.
though. They're saying, look,
Frankfurt,
all
I'll tell
these
you,
Prem
man.
man, yeah, go. We know you lot got money in that league, yeah.
Yeah.
Show
Watch-
us the money.
Watch Frankfurt go and buy Fofana.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
then in a season's time, we were running him down.
Yeah.
For like 60
Leverkusen got money now. You know what I mean?
They do, yeah.
Big piece from Liverpool.
Yep. JQ says, would a loan for these strikers be more feasible? I don't think the buying club would accept
Not
a loan.
Gyökeres.
There's
And
no-
actually, no,
and the
not
selling
Leipzig
club
as well. They're
wouldn't-
not.
yeah.
No,
No,
none of these man actually.
no.
None of them.
And also loans, like we've seen loads of loans not work this season.
They're not gonna loan
Not for young
Rashford,
players.
Sancho.
like that have got high ceilings.
Here's a
like these.
question for our Don Robbie. Robbie, would you like to take TT Henry after Arteta gets sacked next year?
Henry as a manager.
Or sporting director? Imagine him on the phone.
Yeah,
Who
well,
says
I'll tell
no
you
to
what.
that?
Involved. Yeah.
A sporting director, yeah, because like all the players love him.
Yeah.
You saw, like I said, Rafael wearing his t-shirt. So a sporting director, yeah, bring him in, man.
Wouldn't it?
That's true.
Is it as simple, right? If Rafael's in the gym wearing an Henry shirt, is it as simple as Berto going, go on, ring him, get him to come here. Henry, go. He's on the phone.
why not?
Is it as simple as that?
They
Or
do.
am I just fantasizing?
No, they
a bit?
do. They do. I say they. I can speak about Man United, but they do ask ex-players. I know for a fact.
Yeah.
Players have told me. They've
Yeah,
asked
get on the
me
phone
what
to
they
him.
think about him. They will look at Lenny Yoro with Rio. Like he was involved.
Didn't
he
you
was.
try that with Cody
Well,
Gakpo?
if you can use that, get involved.
Yeah.
Is
use
that
all your
too
weapons.
simple to?
No, in
no.
terms of encourage him or find out about 100%.
No,
When we tried to sign Jude Bellingham, mate, Jude Bellingham came to Carron. We wheeled out Brian Robson, Eric Cantona, and Sir Alex, and his parents
And
and
he
him
still said
went
no.
in Dortmund. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you got those weapons, use them. I think in the past as well, over the years, from what I've heard behind the scenes, they ain't used those enough. Especially when Wenger was there. A lot of ex-players used to say to me, I don't know why, he doesn't want to get us involved. So, use that. You got that as a tool, use it.
Use your
Someone says,
contacts,
my favourite
your
player is
phone
Thierry Henry.
Hang
Yeah,
on, wait
Andrew
there.
Berta, you get
Right,
him,
TT.
TT, get on the phone to him, man, say we want him.
You could get Rafael now. If you showed enough ambition.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
and
as if we
strength,
want
it's,
him.
it's if you really want to commit
if we
that.
really want-
But I think
I-
if you went in strong for Rafael, I
Yeah.
think
The rumour is that Arteta loves Rodrygo and would love to sign him.
There was a
But
quote
it's
just
all
on
gonna
the screen
depend on
here.
whether he wants to leave.
Big up Jack for that tweet, which basically says what we've just said there. But there was another tweet on Rodrygo, a couple of quotes coming out from Xabi Alonso.
Yeah,
It
he
says
said,
he's in good shape, he's going to play
It's a
a
technical
key
decision.
role. Yeah, that he didn't play at the start, but
And he said we need him at the Club
we
World
need
Cup.
him. Well,
This was a
there you
bit
go.
significant.
I see Rodrygo in good shape. He was on the bench for a technical decision. He's still important and we'll need him at the Club World Cup. I think he's saying that
Because they're there
in the
then,
tournament.
innit?
He's a special player and will play a
Because
key
you
role.
want him, you're just trying to shape
No,
it.
but
as
don't you think you just say
typical Arsenal fan. That means he's going to come to us.
That doesn't mean anything. But
After the Club World Cup?
I just always feel that sometimes, right? Listen, these guys are media trained, right? So if he was asked that about Mbappe, he'd just say, "Yeah, Mbappe's not going anywhere."
I think you do better.
Yeah,
than
there's certain players you can say.
Right?
For.
But if you
Of
say
course.
we need him at the Club World Cup,
No, it's not that.
what
Don't
about
look
after
into
the
it
Club
like
The
World
fact
Cup?
that he's not
Don't
saying
look into
You've
it.
left it a bit
he's-
open,
The
innit?
fact that he hasn't said, "Oh, Rodrigo's going to be here for many years," because
It's
everyone
open,
knows
it's left open.
you don't say stuff like that
No, but even though saying,
unless it's big man.
also I say
Mbappe's just gone there.
it can be
First
lost
year.
in translation as well. But to me, I'd be saying, "No, we need him for next season." But he didn't say that. We need him at the Club World Cup.
Yeah, but that's
Club
'cause
World
he's
Cup
in the
finishes in a
moment.
couple of weeks'
They're
time.
there
Then
now,
what?
man.
So what that does is that leaves these
Corridor
guys. They know the media, right? So you've left it open. So like that means when the Club World Cup finishes now, there's still going to be loads of debates about him because you haven't said we need him for next season.
Yeah.
If he
Or
did
he's
say he's
staying.
going to play a key role for the next season, then
Yeah.
I guess it shuts the door a little
Yeah,
bit.
it does,
But
yeah.
the doors are ajar.
Rodrygo doesn't want to leave.
No,
He just
exactly.
wants to play
But
more.
I think you can do better than Rafa Leao. I don't think he's all that. And in the Prem,
rate
where
him.
it's super physical,
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know
physical.
if he's on that.
No, but he's
I
physical.
watched him when he come on against
See
Spain.
when he came on the other day against Spain, he's bullying up man.
But that's what I mean about the hot and cold. Like they
I like
could
it, man.
not. I was like, right,
They
he's
couldn't live with it.
unplayable. But then there's other times if you speak to people who watch Rafael Leao all the time, it's like, man,
His stats
come
over
on,
the years
kids.
at AC Milan have been very good.
Yeah, he's
Won the league with AC.
he's very physical. That's the one thing he does have.
No,
He
he's
just
got,
get
he's
past you
got
like
the
you're not there.
physicality to play in the league, man.
Yeah.
How many
It's
goals
whether
did he
I
score
think-
last year?
I think
8.
Yeah, he didn't have a great season last year.
34 games, 8 goals, 10 assists.
We met him.
One and two
Oh
goals
no,
and
you wasn't
assists.
there. Josh was there when we played you lot. It was in the first time in the MetLife Stadium. Then we went to Las Vegas afterwards. But AC Milan were playing there as well. We went Top Golf and we see Tamori, Loftus Cheek, and him. He's massive.
Yeah,
mate.
he's big.
He's big.
He's big,
And he's
actually.
quick.
Yeah.
And he's explosive.
Yeah.
And I'll have some of that at the Emirates.
6'2",
Or
mate.
Rodrygo.
Yeah.
Rafa Leao.
Athletic as well, man.
Yeah.
But he is hot and cold. But can Arteta get hold of him and get some consistency out of him?
Yeah.
That'll be exciting.
55 goals in the league in 198 appearances, 1 in 4, which actually for a winger is
That's
probably
good.
par for the
That's
course.
good for a winger.
That's
In-
like a
and it's Italy. where
that's like a
defenders-
Luis Diaz kind of numbers.
And it's
across
Italy,
4
Italy
seasons.
where defenders are strong. So
He's got abilities. Just can he find consistency?
yeah.
Yeah, 26 years
Very
old.
good player. He's 26.
He's 20. He's
Yeah,
just turned
he's younger
26
than that, man.
2
No,
weeks ago.
Some of these players been around. It just feels weird. You just know they're there, but you forget.
Yeah, he's been around for a
It's
while.
like Mbappe's like 27 or something like that, isn't he? It's
Mm.
crazy. Rafael, Arsenal fans, are you interested? Or the man on the screen, would he be better suited to Arsenal's left wing to bolster that attack? Rodrygo. Is it raining?
Yeah, it's
It is
pouring.
raining.
Is it? Well, fair enough. Plants probably need it, don't they?
Yeah, 100%.
We know when you're getting old when you say stuff like that, innit? Yeah, the grass needs
My
it.
grass needs. My
Yeah,
grass does
you're
need it,
buzzing.
yeah.
Miracle Grow.
Yeah.
Come on. Robbie loves rewriting history. Kepa played 31 games, not 38.
I didn't say name how many games he played.
You said
I
he played every game for.
I said, okay.
Bournemouth.
When he played 31, that's still literally every game, isn't it?
Well,
right? And he was good.
far off, is it?
80%.
Yeah, and he was excellent.
Well, he wasn't that good at Anfield, I'll tell you that. He
Yeah,
You
made
keep
a
saying
howl.
that one game. man,
No,
he
the
was
Spurs game as well when he takes down.
Overall,
Son.
Bournemouth had a good season.
Overall,
And Kepa had a good season.
overall, he's one of the statistically
He
one
is
of the
prone
best keepers.
to a little bit of a brain fart every now and again.
5 mil
but for
to
5
just
mil,
be there.
backup keeper.
Yeah.
Man United should have got him. 5 mil.
I'm happy with that.
I'd have had that.
Yeah. Robbie, is it Arteta's final season to win something? Says Juno.
Probably.
Right, fair enough. Mustard's Ketchup. What kind of name is that? Says you could get. Do you know who you could get on a free? Who's proven? Number 9.
Who?
Lacazette.
Yeah, he's available. Yeah,
If you fancy
because
it.
they'd be relegated down. But
If you fancy it. let
I
me
like
know.
Lacazette, but he's a bit old now.
He'll probably stay there now and try and get them back.
He's
up,
like
innit?
he's a legend at that club.
Yeah, he actually is.
You bought him. For
Ryan says, call me crazy, AGT. You're crazy. But if we could buy Isaac, I'd rather we use that money to get the centre-back we need plus 2 forwards. Depth in centre-back is not great.
Yeah, Gay.
Yeah, looking like
That'd be a great
He-
sign
he
as
wants
well.
Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool ain't playing. man.
Moving mad.
Yeah.
Jarell
Gay.
Quansah. Nice
replace
little
him with
35.
Gahey. That's an upgrade. Big upgrade.
100% upgrade.
Leadership, experience.
Wicked.
Just won the FA Cup with Palace. Big him up.
Liverpool.
I'd love to see it.
Mad.
I would love to see it.
Need to be
Get him in.
stopped.
Can I
They
take
need to
Right,
be
stop
stopped, man.
us then.
We can't. We're not in a
Stop
position
us.
to do.
Stop us.
Them other guys who can
You
do
can't
it.
stop.
How do you
Just
know?
something,
You
man.
can't stop because you've already tried.
Just something.
Do something then. Go
Yeah, that
on.
was last season. The new season's coming. Relax,
Robbie, man.
Yeah, but
Get
look
them,
at what
man.
we're
Come on,
doing.
man.
You just said Liverpool aren't playing, so come stop us.
Let's stop them, man.
No, I just said Liverpool what?
You said they ain't playing games. We're
Yeah,
getting
you're not playing games. But it's not just...
So you have to not play games as well, man.
at
Come
the
on.
end of the day, it's not
Start not
strictly
playing
that
games.
wins of the league. They didn't sign anyone last season, they won it. Right?
So
And
just
as I
imagine
said,
now
teams that man said, oh, they won the transfer window, struggled. It ain't just about what
I said
you've
West
got.
Ham won
City
the
are coming
transfer.
back
Yeah.
now.
City are
Rodri's
coming
back.
back.
They're refreshing the thing.
Deep down, he's very, very, very
You man might be
afraid.
third or fourth.
Very afraid.
Could be, could win it. Don't know.
He's very afraid, I'd say.
Right?
Because
Because last season you gave yourself no chance. You won it. You don't know, man.
I said you'd win it last
Seasons
year.
about many different factors.
New deal coming in for Fabrizio Romano. He says, understand Como and AC Milan have now agreed a €25 million package for Malik Thiaw. Deal now depends on the player and the personal terms. The two clubs are both still in contact for Alvaro Morata as well, as we just spoke about on the show. Let's move on to the Club World Cup. Chelsea the other night. Good result for them against S Tunis. They won 3-0 to go through to the round of 16. Reports flying around that after his example of petulance, that apparently now Maresca's future plans do not include Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea will face Benfica in the round of 16. They could have played Bayern, but Bayern lost to Benfica, didn't they? So that moves them to the other side of the draw.
You're lucky.
It's now Chelsea versus
You're
Benfica
lucky.
and PSG versus Inter Miami. But tonight it's Juventus versus Manchester City as well in the contest.
Inter Miami done well.
That
You
free
think
kick.
at the start everyone's saying that they shouldn't even be there and stuff like that, and they've actually proved themselves to be worthy to be there because they're through in the next stage.
Yeah. And if
I
you
think
look at...
are they the only MLS team I think has done that as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Monterrey also through Sergio Ramos's current team. But if you look at some of the results recently, Inter did their thing. They beat River Plate 2-0. Did you see Acuna trying to chase Dumfries? Did you not
Why?
see that?
yeah, kicked off, man.
Bro,
Kicked off.
he was saying, come down the tunnel. There's
Well,
no
Dumfries
cameras
went on
there. I think Acuna was trying to get him on the pitch, and Dumfries was like, yo, there's cameras here. Let's go down the tunnel.
Oh.
So he starts running to the tunnel. He's
say,
like, come. And then it's like 20 men just all jump on.
I
But
tell you what is right. That tournament has been very competitive, man.
Yeah.
It ain't no games where it's like some little friendly thing,
No.
joke thing. You know what I mean? It's been all right.
2 red cards for River Plate in that game, by the way. Lucas Martinez Quatra and Gonzalo Montiel, who scored the winning penalty for Argentina at the World Cup. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were there. But yeah, it was
We were
Pio
there together.
Esposito.
Oh, didn't remember he scored the winning penalty.
Yeah, he sent the keeper the wrong way, didn't he? But listen, that is some tournament that we're actually seeing so far, because Chelsea have done their bit. They've got through. Real Madrid have scraped through. Inter Miami beating Porto. Porto then drew 4-4 to Al Ahly. So there is no easy game.
No easy
Listen,
game.
we take away the Auckland results at the start, but even they got a draw.
Yeah, I was.
They got
Remember,
to
I
pick
was
them
very
up.
critical, saying I don't think, but then as it's
And that
gone
was
on,
you that said that.
That's what I said.
How do you feel now? Hold your hands up and
I said it- I
apologise.
said it even on the day, didn't I? Even when you lot were explaining, I went, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? So I was off the mark with that.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get them batterings, and actually, the further it's gone on, I can see that. The games are heating up and stuff. So yeah.
I mean, look, Dortmund only, with all due respect to Ulsan, right, the team from the K-League, with all due respect to them, Dortmund only beat them 1-0, right? And you've got other results that include the Auckland draw, of course, as a bit of an eye-opener. But LAFC drawing with Flamengo is a decent result. And Boca Juniors
They're
drawing
already
with
out, aren't they?
Auckland City.
They're
Yeah.
out.
they're out.
Of course, but some good games there. And coming up, Juventus Man City tonight at 8:00. Salzburg versus Real Madrid tomorrow at 2 a.m. And then the round of 16, Palmeiras, Botafogo. That will be some game, by the way. The
That's
fans are
gonna
going to
be
be going
feisty, innit?
crazy for that one. Benfica, Chelsea, Flamengo versus Bayern, and PSG versus Inter Miami. Inter Milan versus Fluminense. Dortmund versus Monterrey. That would be a good one for Ramos, and the other two are yet to be confirmed.
But the team that Chelsea played against, though, the
S.
golfing
Tunis.
class, the goals that were going
Yeah.
in were just.
Could the keeper
Jesus,
have
I thought
saved?
Onana was bad. Jesus.
Could the keeper have saved Delap's goal?
Of course he could. He didn't dive.
He didn't even try.
And he went, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then the
No
other
one's
one
saving
where
that.
who shot?
I didn't even.
The third goal, someone shot from outside the bottom, whatever, and he got a hand to it and it's still winning. Silly.
The scorers were Tosin, who actually got man of the match.
That header, that was
Liam Delap and Tyreek George.
Even he just went, all right, he was celebrating. He was like, the keeper was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So there's still a little bit of that going on where you're going to get a game or two where you just give them lips.
0 shots on target for SG.
Going to get serious now when you get into the next.
Yeah, I've seen the Delap one.
Next stage now.
We get serious now.
Yeah, now it's going, and now we can lock in and be like, all right, let's see.
Yeah, looking forward to catching the rest of those games. In the Club World Cup, especially tonight, Juventus versus Man City. That would be a good game. But Fluminense, Flamengo, Palmeiras, Botafogo, all 4 Brazilian teams made it to the last 16 of the World Cup. If you can actually, associate a place in the world that takes this tournament as seriously as they do, it's Brazil, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Brazil absolutely love one. And according to Sky Sports, Chelsea have already recovered the money spent on Liam Delap at the Club World Cup. They've made 36.5 million by reaching the round of 16. I mean, you look at teams.
Serious money in that Club World Cup.
And I saw, we mocked Auckland City, right? But I think their revenue last year was $1 million. They've earned like 5 million from this already. So they can go home. Yes, they got 2 heavy defeats, but they came away with a draw, and it's going to help them going forward. So it has actually impacted them in a very positive way, for sure.
I said the other day, right? Like it's a new tournament. We've got to give it a chance. I think it would be better the next time round. As I said the other day, I'm open to changes, man, for certain things. I was still having this little argument the other day with a guy about the World Cup. He was saying to me, it's ridiculous, 48 teams. I was saying, yeah, but it gives a chance for us to see some new countries come into it and stuff like that. Remember, last time when the World Cup was extended, that enabled Wales to get there. And Scotland and teams like this.
When's too much, though? When is too much? When is the cut?
That's the billion-dollar question.
All of a sudden we got
48.
in the World Cup.
48. Jamaica got a chance to make it.
You seen what we've been doing?
Lost to Guatemala, didn't you?
Steve, man, you're not sealing up nothing.
Yeah.
He's not sealing up nothing at the minute.
But
struggling.
Let's see.
Give him a chance. Super chat here from Kia Luke, who says, Wolves losing Cunha, Brentford having a fire sale, Flecken and Buemo, Norgaard, Frank. Could a newly promoted team survive? And you know what? When you think about Brentford, I've got a shout out to Queven Keller, because he comes in thinking, right, we've got a nice little setup here.
Everyone's gone.
Thomas Frank's out the door, captain's gone, and Buemo's gone. What's that?
Keith Andrews. Buemo's gone. He's coming.
Oh, right, yeah. So Keith Andrews stepping up.
Yeah.
Do you see what Martin O'Neill said about him?
No, what did he cost him?
Yeah. He was like, it's funny he's the set piece coach, because when I had him at Ireland, he was very against training and set piece, proper slewing him, like calling him out a little bit. So Martin O'Neill loves doing that. He loves throwing someone under the bus, doesn't he? A couple more super chats here. With Wolves, we've read that one again, Kia Luke. When are we getting a striker, Robbie? When is it going to end, Robbie? The question should be, when's it going to start, Robbie? From Akinyemi. When are you getting a striker? Let's get a date.
I think we'll get a striker in before pre-season.
Can you give us a firm date that we can look back on?
What's my name? Andrew Berta. You know what I mean?
No, but just a guess. Just a guess.
Before.
Okay, but I need a number after the word July.
Well,
before we go on pre-season. The pre-season's at the end of July.
Ours is on the 7th of July. No, pre-season actually starts.
You fly out on the 19th, I think.
Yeah, well, before then.
So give me a date then. Just
before
for
the 19th.
Okay, but give me a
my
number.
name's like Andrew Berta. Stop trying to
transfer daily every day, and he can't give me a date.
Transfer daily.
I don't know when they actually start.
It's a guess. I'll go 14th.
I've just guessed it for you. Before we go pre-season, I feel we'll decide.
Why are you so scared to put a number down?
Because I'm not the guy making the decision. Why am I going to put a number down?
Yeah, but all right, July 14th. What you got? Just for a guess. Just
July
a bit of fun,
9th.
Rob. No one's holding the gun to your head saying if you get this wrong, blah, blah, blah.
You clip it.
You will.
Put it out.
Yeah, a metaphorical one, verbally.
Sorry.
Verbally.
I'm not putting my name to nothing. I remember January with this team, and they wouldn't get nobody.
July 9th, July 14th, they get a striker in, but Robbie doesn't want to give us a number.
I'm doing Arteta.
It's his club, isn't it? Charles coach his chest.
I know what I won with
I'm
this
sure
club.
This will be on DR Sports clips later on, so we'll watch that and put a date down. Red Square says, AC want to upgrade on Leao with Martinelli. Arsenal fans think Leao is an upgrade on Martinelli. So why not a swap deal? Same with Koeman at Bayern. I mean, it doesn't really solve the conundrum, though, does it, there? You know? If you swap him, you still need someone else. Maybe you get him in with... Maybe you do swap with Martinelli and then get Fofana in.
Yeah. Martinelli's good, man.
Matt Law's just
Martinelli's
tweeted
in
now,
the
by the way.
Brazilian team.
What's he saying?
Matt Law says that Tottenham value Christian Cuti Romero at over £60 million and will not be bullied into a cut price sale by Atletico Madrid. It's a tricky situation for Thomas Frank to navigate when Romero returns in July.
Yeah, because he wants out. He could do another.
He's got Atletico all over him.
Yeah,
this guy.
definitely.
He's got it all over him. Right?
But he might do. I fear with him. Right. Well,
Knee-high
I
tackles
say
everywhere.
fear. I don't care, but I could see him going on strike to get that move.
Oh, he's the kind of guy that
He
would.
wants out.
You know, we talk about we talk
He's
about
like
Isaac not
Argentina
being that
through
guy.
and through.
He
We
is.
talk about Isaac not being that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy.
If you looked up being that guy in the dictionary, it's this fella here.
100%. He's got
Um,
all them traits.
Yeah, 100%. He's got them all. Robbie, why don't Arsenal just sign Gyokeres? Take 6 months to sign top class players like Zubimendi. Just sign him. Stop being bottle jobs and bottle jobs FC for life. Says Sonny.
I'm sure if you'd watched the show right from the start, you would have heard Flex articulate it very well on how difficult it is to get a deal like that done. It's not as easy as just turn up with the money, fling it on the. I have this argument with Turkish all the time. He'd be like, "Well, why don't we just go to Isak, put the money down on the table and see what." Sometimes you can.
what you're saying.
You
though.
can
No,
do
but
that.
you can do that, but
What's
do you know?
stopping you?
Do you know? Like I spoke to an agent about this one time. He said he goes, that can piss a club off big time, because talks go on behind the scenes. So it ain't like you won't. Sometimes you go to a club and say, "What's the situation with Isak?"
Yeah, that's what the
Right?
inquiries are about.
Yeah, that's the inquiries, and a club might say to you,
Hands off.
"Listen, hands off, not for sale, under any circumstances." Right?
Yeah,
So
then
imagine I told you that now,
We got
right?
fickle man.
And then a week later, I come and say, right here, 200 million.
I
down
told
on
you
the
he's
table,
not
but-
for sale,
Right,
Robbie.
what would your reaction be? You'd be
I'd be
"You
like,
still-"
yo.
But the man rung me up. He goes, see them man there? I would never sell to them again. No play. And that's what's happened.
That's
you have
the-
to,
yeah, that's
you
sort of
have to
stuff.
keep a relationship with clubs, right? Because you do have
Well, you got
clubs.
sometimes I'm trying to unsettle a man.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
That's
then you can sniff sometimes if you can unsettle a man. So maybe you've spoken to the player, and the player. It's a lot of there's a lot of nuances. To
Happens
this.
all the time.
But just walking through the door, kicking it down, and say, "Yo, here's the money, take it." That don't always work. Even if you're a club like Real Madrid, because I know, like in Spain, there's some clubs that don't deal with Madrid because they've done things like that in the past. So, like, say,
I wish we'd stop dealing with them.
So,
to be
say
honest.
for instance, like
Man, they've got off
Madrid and Barcelona came in, that club might say, "I'll deal with Barcelona, not Madrid, because I
Yeah.
don't like how they do business."
Yeah.
So you have to. There's a lot of things you have to be very careful about.
Also, Richard Hughes is very good friends from his Bournemouth days with Eddie Howe. And
Yeah.
apparently Eddie Howe wants Richard Hughes to come in at Newcastle. And I hope there's a phone call that goes in. I do. Matty Renton, by the way, he's gone from, he's not for sale, mate, 150. Now he's going, give us 200 and that means we can spend 300 in PSR, mate.
Bro, that's what
And I was like, well, what do you want? Because
Bro,
if we do
put
the big
the
boy
money.
thing and go, let's test your resolve, look straight in the eye contact.
Here's 130, opening bid.
Nah.
Oh,
no,
150
big boy
just-
thing. 150.
Yeah.
And let's see how loyal he is. Let's see if he wants to stay at Newcastle and play in the
Why not
Champions League.
try, mate?
Because that's what the big
I
boys
don't want
do.
you to
We
for
got
the
to start
good of
acting
football,
like that.
'cause
And
the
we are acting
Prem's
like that now.
over if that happens.
Yeah.
If you get Isak.
If we
Isak
get
needs to
Isaac,
stay at
with
Newcastle.
everyone else, would you say it's Liverpool's?
Yeah.
He's honest. He's
For the
honest.
next
I like
couple of
it.
years,
I
Done,
like it, I like
right?
it, I like it.
Done. Right. League
Everything
finish.
done.
You should just say, right, we target the FA Cup.
Might even
And
not win
Champions
that.
League. Not even that.
Quang Tun there, big him up. Hardcore Arsenal fan here. Be patient.
Believe.
Believe. You're being patient. Up until
being patient.
at what point does
Believes
Robbie
another
stop
man.
being
Where's the date where
What
you become
date do you
patient?
stop being impatient?
Give us the actual number.
As I said, right.
The first game at all when there's no striker.
August 17th.
No, listen,
mate.
if
North London derby in Singapore, wherever it is, with no
if
striker.
we go on tour, we not sign a striker, I'll be fuming.
Yeah, right, okay.
Absolutely fuming.
And you'll be close to the players and the manager on tour,
Yeah,
so
I'll
you
be
can have a
fuming.
word, can't you?
I won't want to be close.
Oh, is that a threat? Is that a threat in Singapore?
Just watch the game in the stands, that's it.
No press conference, no. Okay.
Eat some street food.
Eat some street food. You might get ill, mate. You might be even more fuming. John Cena says, ADT, from a Barca fan, do not worry about Trent. We will take great care of him next season when the Clasico comes around. Bisca el
Mash him
Barça.
up.
I'll tell you what, I am supporting Barca next summer.
Of course you are. It's just shameless.
Yeah. Is it
bad
shameless?
Yeah.
I've always
Wish him
preferred
well,
Nico
man.
to Raul anyway.
Ah,
You're a bad
Yeah.
mind, man.
You're bad mind for talking about Trent in every episode. Saying his daughter's got a poster of him in his room. That's his room.
I never brought Trent up. You just did.
You bring
and you
Trent
done
up
hate along as well.
time.
You were so happy in that first game when they drew and
just
stuff.
doing my job.
I saw some of the.
They told me do the watch.
Played all right in the second game.
job.
He didn't mention it.
Yeah, he
I'm
didn't
just doing my
mention
job.
wicked crossfield
Don't be a
pass and
baby.
all that.
Don't be a baby.
Nah, man.
You're a big baby, Flex.
Nah, man.
They don't told you that.
We're on
You're
to
a big
APT.
baby.
This hate watching. I don't care
I was
about him. Not
commentating
my
on the
player
game,
no
mate.
more. Yeah. So what you
If he
got?
gives a ball away,
loads
I've
of
got
things to say.
on that. It's my job. Was
Looking-
that not my job? That
Looking
man?
hella happy.
You said to me,
At the
I
mishaps.
need you on a watch along.
You know what I mean?
To play and Trent's
Man's
first game.
celebrating every bag he
Watch
touched.
along.
I don't know about
It wasn't a
celebrating.
hate along, was it? It was a watch along.
Well, I'm doing my job. I mean, you could have hosted it if you wanted, but you're on holiday. So it's not my fault, is it?
It's not the Bias Premier League show. You know what I mean?
Bias
It's not
DR
that,
show.
mate. Yeah, it's not that.
Anyway, big up to John Cena, right? My guy, Barca fan. We will be there, of course. Of course we will be there. Just on Chelsea, they're edging closer to a deal to sign Jamie Gittins, the 21-year-old or the under 21-year-old English winger. 50 mil fee is what they want. Is he worth that? I don't think he is.
He is because Dortmund say he is.
Is he
a lot
worth
of
that?
money.
Just
a lot.
because they say?
It's funny because he's not in the England international yet.
No.
Under
He's
21.
It's a lot of money.
come out of City Academy. He's had his problem with injuries, but the last 3 seasons in a row, he's been doing well, man. And sometimes if you scout properly, you see it from early, you can go, you know what, that's the guy.
I quite like the idea of these
I've
young
told
English
Chelsea
players.
fans already, though. You know what I mean? Don't allow that. You know what I mean? Garnacho's what you need. Yeah, Premier
He
League
must be on
proven.
commission. Flex
Yeah.
must
Premier
be on
League proven.
commission
Why are you
here,
gonna take that
honestly.
risk? We can get Garnacho playing in the league. You know what he's about.
Yeah.
50 million.
What I do like about the likes of Jamie Gittins, I'll even chuck Jude Bellingham in there. Born in Reading, English player, 20 years old. He went through Reading, Chelsea, back to Reading, went to City. I love the fact that they've gone, do you know what?
Gone.
None of you are taking me. I'm going to go away, prove myself, and then watch. In 2 years, bang, you're going to be paying 50 mil for me. And that's exactly what is happening right here. So big up to Jamie Gittins. But Chelsea fans in the chat, is he the man you want? Chelsea in the market for wingers, as we know, with Sancho leaving and Madueke almost certainly going to Arsenal.
Madueke.
How would you feel about that, though? Because his patience would be lost if
I
you bid for
do like
Madueke.
Madueke
though.
as a player. I think he's
But you
really-
want a Leao or
really talented.
Rodrygo?
Of course.
Yeah. I can't wait for him to start being impatient, you know. June the 14th.
We'll be there. We will be there.
July the 14th.
Yes.
We will be there. Leon Bimpson says, didn't Cunha sign a contract a few months ago? Never say never the way Liverpool are moving. Great show. But Robbie, internet news is not the gospel truth.
That's a lot different to Isak, who's playing the Champions League next season, to Wolves, who nearly got relegated at one stage now.
Okay. Lads, who do you think will shine and make a difference for their new club? Wirtz or Shirky? This is almost the Nunes-Haaland thing now. Wirtz and
Especially because of
Shirky.
the price of Shirky.
Yeah, no, he
versus
has to
the
hit the
price
ground
of Wirtz.
instantly.
Wirtz will be
Instantly.
under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But the thing I'm looking at overall is Man City are obviously going to go far in this competition. When we get to January, February, and their legs are done and they fall off again
Maybe.
because they've had to play without
All
a
the way
break,
through,
and they've
yeah.
got pre-season games after this as well. By the
Could
way,
also hit the ground running because they've been playing at
Exactly.
a high level.
they could.
As long as
but
you rotate your squad enough and give people. the
I
right
think
time.
by Christmas, a lot of the teams in that Club World Cup might not regret being in it, but the other teams above them might be saying, "Well, we had
Maybe.
a proper rest, and
And
you
Champions League
didn't."
will still be there as well. So
Yeah.
yeah. Still got to keep going.
Big ups to Roscoe for that one there. Bert says, as I commented on the Football Flex, the whole I follow Arsenal on Insta indicates that Sesko is coming, says Bert. Yes. I follow Rihanna.
As I said,
Flex follows,
his agents follow
Real Madrid
AFTV.
probably.
Do it.
Exactly.
His agents follow AFTV.
Do they?
Yeah.
Is this an exclusive then?
What the Sesko
Is that-
agents follow AFTV? Fact.
Why don't you
agents,
send a
yeah.
little DM then? And say, yo, can you give us Gyokeres'
Maybe
number?
they have. Maybe they already have.
Look
There's a
at
reason
him.
why
He's
he's
being
confident.
coy.
There's
He's
a
being
reason
coy.
why he's confident. Yeah.
Look.
He always says to me, Flex, when you do that face, look at him now.
Look at his
yeah,
face.
he said-
I did no face.
have you had any
Look at his
conversations?
face. Look how you're playing it down, though.
Can you confirm or deny?
Yeah.
Have you had any
And
conversations
what date did you speak to
with
them on?
Sesko's agents
Give us
through
a number.
DM on the AFTV platform?
To mind your own business. I mean,
On Insta, TikTok, Twitter,
Admin,
on
YouTube.
Insta.
where are
on
you?
Insta. You heard it here first, people. That is an exclusive from Don Robert
I
himself.
didn't give no exclusive.
Right? That Sesko's agents follow AFTV.
Oh, yeah,
let
yeah,
alone
they do.
Arsenal. They follow AFTV. Who else do they follow?
Sesko's following Arsenal.
Cesc? Do they follow Cecil?
Probably.
Probably
No,
not.
Sesko's following Arsenal.
Right.
Yeah.
And AFTV.
No, not AFTV. Not as far as I know, anyway.
Imagine that. If
But
that
he's-
happens, he's
he's-
definitely coming.
Follows the Cop TV as well, I heard. Fake rumours on the screen, apparently. Look how quick Arsenal fans identified this CDM. Must have known beforehand as an option. The fact that since January we don't know which striker it is going to be. Slow business, end of, says Jordan. Not happy there. City playing 27-man squad in Club World Cup. No regret later, says Adu.
There's enough man there.
As well on that one. Fair enough. Just before we go, right, I want to the Garnacho graphic is up on screen. Can we get that up for us right now?
In the future. Garnacho's done.
Well, we'll speak about that after him, won't we? But let's just get that tweet back up because there was a graphic that the DR Sports social team did.
I like that one. Flex, keep Bensel, Garnacho, Sancho, or Rashford.
All of them. Sell all of them.
I'd keep Anthony.
Oh, that's another one you got to move on as well, by the way. But here we go. Which team should Garnacho join? It could be Garnacho, Watkins, Rodgers. It could be Garnacho, Delap, Neto. It could be Garnacho, Havertz, and Saka. And Robbie kisses his teeth at the mere thought of that three.
I think he'd do all right at Chelsea.
Three up top, by the way.
And he'd do all right at Villa.
Garnacho's a good player, you know. Like,
He's nice. He's good. He's good.
He's not terrible.
I like
he's
him.
not.
It's all
And
this
for
like-
his age,
it's all that.
that's what I'm saying.
I
He's
don't
got
like
a
all that.
caveat. He's got a side where you
The
you
middle
gotta look
fingers
at
to
that.
the fans in
There's
Asia.
stuff. Listen, he's got stuff.
Don't like
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot of players like that.
There's a lot of
He's a
players
good
like
player.
that. But he's a good player.
Gives it all on the pitch.
If he was at Chelsea on their left wing, he'd be fine. He'd be fine, especially in that Maresca system.
I think he'd
You
do
know
all
what I
right.
mean?
at Villa.
Underlapping fullbacks, and he's got emphasis on the wingers just getting the ball and lots of take-ons. Neto one side or Madueke that side, Garnacho. That can work. That's why Chelsea fans, I keep telling you, the Jamie getting things is cute, but come and get
But
Garnacho.
they've already taken a player.
Matisse.
Matisse
Come
has
on.
already done
Thing
that.
is,
The
right,
hashtag say no to
Yeah,
Garnacho.
They've already taken a player
He's already
from him.
said that, man.
And then they've been
send him
burnt
back.
already.
No, not no loan thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they're glad.
Money.
Proper.
They paid
Up
you to
front.
send him back.
But he could fit in. Villa would be good. Villa would be fine.
Edu saying that City have got that 27-man squad. And the last one says, how yes, no, says Frimpong, Wirtz and Kerkez officially done. Gahey next in the line. Robbie, are you feeling a bit uncomfortable? Is it a top 4 battle for next year?
Wait and see.
We will. Time will always
Wait
tell.
and see, man.
Time always
Wait
tells.
and see. We
And
don't even
will
know
see.
what. You know what I mean? The transfers ain't been done yet. We don't know what shape teams are going to be in. You know, it's a long way to go. We don't know about injuries. Is a key factors. You buy a player. I mean, we bought Urian Timber, done his
Pre-season.
ACL after a couple of games. I mean, a lot of factors come into it. This is still very early.
A lot of factors come into it. Well, guess what? We're back at 5 o'clock with our dedicated transfer show with myself and James B. And of course, this show will be back on Monday as well. So listen, Flex, Robbie, good to see you both as
Big
always.
up.
July the 14th is my guess on when Arsenal buy a striker. He's gone July the 9th.
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 Yeah.
But Robbie won't give us a date, unfortunately. But he will be back on Monday and we'll see how he feels then. Take care. All the best. All the best again. Just have a good day.